In the silence of ancient woods, a woman vanishes. Valerie Gillis, known as Sparrow, stepped into the Appalachian wild seeking healing, but nature had other plans. Lost in the green sea of trees, time slows. Days blur. Hunger grows, and yet she writes letters to her mother. To herself, a whisper in the darkness. I am still here. Pause. Distant sound of rain leaves as searchers comb the forest. Miles away, a stranger becomes obsessed with her fate. A warden bears the weight of leadership, and a community refuses to let her story, indeed, and the deep wild, danger, memory, and mercy collide. This is more than survival. It's a return to the Heartwood, the core of who we are, when everything else is stripped away. Plot summary: Sparrow and the Woodsay daughters bond. Nature's embrace. Valerie Gillis, known as Sparrow, is a nurse and a daughter shaped by her mother's love of the outdoors. Her childhood is marked by a deep attachment to her mother, who calls her Sparrow for her resilience and ubiquity. Valerie's memories are filled with following her mother through the house and garden, learning to read the world through her mother's senses. As she grows, she realizes the impossibility of remaining in that safe, two-person world. She becomes a nurse, learning that motherhood and womanhood are not magical, but for a time, in her mother's arms, the universe felt just right. This foundational relationship and the lessons of survival and love set the stage for Valerie's later journey into the wild, seeking meaning and healing on the Appalachian Trail. Lost in the green sea, a hiker vanishes. Panic blooms. Valerie embarks on her long-held dream of hiking the Appalachian Trail, a journey both romanticized and grueling. As she nears the end of her trek in Maine, she steps off the trail, perhaps for a moment of privacy or curiosity, and becomes disoriented in the dense, unforgiving woods. The forest is a maze of identical trees and undergrowth, and her attempts to find the path only lead her deeper into confusion. Panic and exhaustion set in, and she is soon lost, her supplies dwindling. The narrative shifts between her struggle to survive, rationing food, seeking water, battling fear, and the mounting concern of those searching for her. The woods become both adversary and teacher, stripping away her illusions and forcing her to confront her own limits. The search begins. Wardens mobilize. Hope flickers. Lieutenant Beverly Miller, a seasoned Maine game warden, leads the search for Valerie. The search is a logistical and emotional ordeal, involving professionals and volunteers, dogs and aircraft. The team faces the vastness and density of the North Woods, where even experienced outdoorsmen can vanish. The search is complicated by false leads, the limitations of technology, and the psychological toll on both searchers and the missing person's family. As days pass, the probability of finding Valerie alive diminishes, but the searchers persist, driven by duty, empathy, and the haunting knowledge that every lost person is someone's beloved. Letters to Mother, a daughter's voice. Hope persists stranded and alone. Valerie writes letters to her mother in her journal, using the act of writing to maintain her sanity and sense of self. These letters are confessions, love notes, and survival logs. She recalls her mother's wisdom, her own anxieties, and the comfort of childhood rituals. The letters become a lifeline, a way to process her fear, hunger, and the possibility of death. Through them, she reclaims her identity as a survivor and a daughter, even as her body weakens. The act of writing is both a rebellion against despair and a testament to the enduring power of maternal love, tramily and trail magic friendship, hardship, and unexpected grace. Valerie's journey on the trail is shaped by her tramily, her trail family, including Santo, a large, kind-hearted hiker from the Bronx. Together, they endure the physical and emotional challenges of the trail: rain, hunger, injury, and self-doubt. The trail community is a mosaic of misfits, each carrying their own burdens and seeking transformation. Trail magic, unexpected acts of kindness from strangers, offers moments of grace and connection. Valerie's relationship with Santo is especially poignant, providing mutual support and laughter. Their bond is a reminder that even in solitude, we are shaped and saved by others. The warden's burden leadership, doubt, and relentless search. Lieutenant Miller's perspective reveals the pressures and complexities of leading a high-stakes search. As one of the few women in her field, she navigates skepticism, bureaucracy, and her own perfectionism. The search for Valerie becomes personal, stirring memories of her own family and the weight of responsibility. Miller's team faces setbacks, public scrutiny, and the emotional toll of repeated failure. Yet, she persists, driven by a sense of duty and empathy for both the lost and those who love them. The search is as much about understanding the lost person's psychology as it is about covering ground. Lena's longing, estrangement, obsession, and the search for connection. Lena Kaczarski, a retired cytologist in Connecticut, becomes obsessed with the case of the missing hiker. Estranged from her own daughter, Lena projects her longing and regret onto Valerie's story. She scours online forums, analyzes clues, and forms a virtual partnership with a mysterious forager. Terrible silence. Lena's intellectual curiosity and emotional isolation drive her to seek meaning and redemption through the search. Her journey is a parallel to Valerie's. Both are lost in their own ways, seeking a path back to love and belonging. The Boy in the Woods, a chance encounter. Danger escalates. Valerie's ordeal takes a harrowing turn when she encounters a young, mentally ill man hiding in the woods. Paranoid and delusional, he believes in conspiracies and sees Valerie as both threat and companion. He separates her from her backpack, ties her up, and keeps her at his makeshift camp. Valerie's nursing skills and empathy help her navigate the danger, but she is ultimately left alone, weakened and traumatized. This encounter underscores the unpredictability of the wilderness and the fragility of safety, as well as the limits of compassion in the face of madness, survival and suffering, hunger, hallucination, and the will to live. As days pass, Valerie's physical condition deteriorates. She survives on meager rations, eats grubs, and drinks rainwater wrung from moss. Her senses sharpen, and she experiences hallucinations and moments of transcendence. The forest becomes both enemy and sanctuary, stripping her to her core. Memories of her mother, her patience, and her own capacity for care sustain her. The narrative explores the psychology of survival, the oscillation between hope and despair, the importance of small victories, and the ultimate question of what makes life worth fighting for. The search narrows breakthroughs, setbacks, and a crucial clue. The search effort is plagued by false leads, conspiracy theories, and the vastness of the terrain. Lena's online sleuthing uncovers a key clue: a photograph of Valerie's distinctive pink bandana in the possession of the young man from the woods. This tip, combined with the warden team's relentless efforts, finally narrows the search area. The narrative builds to a fever pitch as the searchers race against time, weather, and the limits of human endurance to find Valerie before it's too late. Moss, moths, and memory nature's lessons. Memory's power. Valerie's ordeal is punctuated by moments of beauty and revelation. She finds solace in the moss beneath her tent, the song of birds, and the appearance of a Luna moth, a symbol of transformation and hope. These encounters with nature evoke memories of her mother and childhood, reinforcing the theme that even in suffering, there is wonder. Valerie's reflections on love, loss, and the interconnectedness of all life become a kind of spiritual survival, sustaining her when her body falters. The mother's call for forgiveness, reconciliation, and the ties that bind us the search nears its end. The narrative weaves together the stories of mothers and daughters, Valerie and her mother, Lena and Christine, Miller and her own mother. Each woman grapples with regret, longing, and the desire for forgiveness. Lena reaches out to her estranged daughter, seeking reconciliation. Miller confronts her own family history and the limits of her ability to save others. The novel suggests that the deepest wounds and the greatest strengths are found in these primal relationships. The final push a race against time, hope rekindled. A crucial tip leads the searchers to the right area. Lieutenant Miller and Regina, AK-9 Handler, trek through the rain-soaked woods, following the faintest traces of Valerie's passage. The search is grueling, the odds slim, but the team is driven by a stubborn hope. The discovery of Valerie's boot, a discarded wrapper, and finally her tent brings them closer. The tension is palpable as they call her name, fearing the worst but refusing to give up. Found and forgiven. Rescue, relief, and the cost of survival against all odds. Valerie is found alive, though barely. The reunion is both triumphant and sobering. Her survival is a testament to her resilience, the love that sustained her, and the relentless efforts of those who searched. The aftermath is a time of healing, gratitude, and reckoning with trauma. Valerie's journal, filled with letters to her mother, becomes a symbol of survival and the enduring power of love. The searchers, the family, and the community are changed by the ordeal, reminded of both the fragility and strength of the human spirit. After the rescue, rebuilding, reconnecting, and new beginnings, Valerie recovers, reconnects with her family, and finds new purpose in her life.